think for intersectoral mobility in any case, so, Connor talked about different types of mobility. Specifically, what I mean by intersectoral mobility is bringing researchers to the labour market. And you could even look at it another way, which I will, bringing industry professionals to academia. And I'll explain why in a moment. So I think the main problem is that, and it is a problem, is that the majority of doctoral candidates want to stay in academia. And we know this from surveys we've even done ourselves. Unfortunately, the reality is that the majority cannot stay in academia. And as the numbers increase, it's going to increase furthermore. Now, we have a problem where it's not really defined anymore what the idea of a PhD is. What is it for? So if the PhD is for academia, that's clear, that's fine. But then what do we do with this massive group that needs to leave? They've obviously been, I won't say duped, but they obviously thought they could stay, right? And even worse, we train them to stick at it. We tell them, you must be tough to get a PhD, keep at it, keep focusing, you will make it. But statistically, that's obviously not true. They cannot all stay. And I'm only even talking about staying on to the next level. The percentage who goes on to professor is, I don't know, it could be 2%, 5% maybe. In some cases, it's extremely low. Then you have the other option, which is a PhD is not for academia. It could be for general academic or non-academic employment. But then they need to be getting the training and the skills and the competencies to go into industry. And even furthermore, not just the skills, because this is theoretical, they need practical training and they need contact with industry. So, and I'm not pulling other aspects of science into it, like open science and research integrity. And what does that mean if you're looking for a job in a commercial environment where they're not necessarily always focused on openness and they have their own codes of conduct for integrity? So, I mean, the bottom line for me, and when I say me, then maybe I should say us, for the European Council of Doctoral Candidates and Junior Researchers, so all early career researchers in Europe, we have asked the European Commission and we asked the member states to start taking this factor into account. The PhD is clearly not only for academia anymore, that's just the reality, that they're going to have to start taking this transition to the labour market seriously and professionally, and start training and supporting researchers not just in transferable skills, for the non-academic labour market, but shaping this whole cultural mindset. Leaving academia can be positive, is positive, and it should certainly not be seen as failure. And these people should be helped move towards industry a lot clearer than now. To do that, they're going to have to raise awareness that a PhD is not a key to academia. The key, let's say, there's many other factors involved there, and many will have to leave. They need support for this. And when I say support, career development support, you could include career development plans, which map out very clearly how they're going to get where they want to get. And that will change as they cross the PhD. Then the next thing is not just training them in transversal skills, abstract skills. Bring in industry professionals to academia. Let them mentor PhDs. Let them train them. Let them give classes. Norway, for example, has what's called a Professor 2 program, where they bring in an industry professional for 1 day a week as a professor, and that person then actually trains these people in industry. But the other side works. They get immediate contact with industry. We would even step further and ask for PhD internships, paid, where a PhD candidate will go to industry for perhaps 2 to 6 months, paid then as a salary, not just as a student, let's say, and that they get this experience in industry and they go back. But what they also get is this contact. And maybe one other very practical thing is to set up career events in the universities, I wouldn't even say nationally, but really at the institutions, possibly even faculties or institutes, where you bring in industry experts, companies, get them to meet the PhDs, get them to sell their wares. They can contact them, talk to them, so that they have some kind of contact before they leave academia. So I think that would be more or less the bottom line for us.